Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Crypto Scene Investigation, where we have a look at various cryptocurrency projects and we ask ourselves, should we be investing in them? Today we're going to be doing a neat one called Kiba Inu, one of the meme coins. If you guys like what I do on this channel, please consider liking and subscribing, and if you do want to comment, you're very welcome to do that. As long as you keep it within that little grey box thing. I want to have a bunch of shillers on this channel. No, you guys can probably shill this project. So there's a bunch of stuff to discuss today with this. But first of all, I want to show you guys this. So they're essentially going to be making this kibaswap, right? So this is something which they are trying to aim for having the safest DEX and launchpad in the space. So restoring integrity to meme coins. Now here's something cool. You can literally do limit orders on a swap. Like, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. I've never seen that before. If you guys don't know what a limit order is, it's sort of like you say you want to buy a certain amount of tokens for a certain price, whereas usually swaps you're just like, okay, I want to buy a certain amount of tokens and I can only buy at the price which is given to me, but limit allows you to actually choose the price which you can buy it at, which is pretty cool. I haven't connected a wallet because, yep, but they also, so this is kind of cool, they actually have a honeypot checker. Now this is only for ETH so far, and you have to hold Kiba Inu to use it, but it is also an experimental service as well. So I think that's pretty cool. I think that is a pretty good start. Also, so remember guys that from the videos which you guys see me do, we try to look at things from an objective and factual point of view. We want to look at the goods and the bads to help us make a better decision. Alright, so let's continue going through their website in general. So this is probably looking like every other video on YouTube about Kiba so far. But as you can see from my tabs up top, that is not going to be the only thing which we're going to be talking about. We're going to be going through some stats and analytics as well. So they've got, so they've actually got both I forgot the name of it, contract on BSC scan and Etherscan. So we'll be looking through BSC check, token sniffer, and Moonarch to have a look at some of those other things as well, as well as some extra token metrics as well. So currently they do have trading which has been paused on Hotbit because they've been migrating over from V1 to V2, and so one of the reasons for their migration, I'll just quickly grab that. So I've just gone and added some extra special information for you guys. I've kind of made a document right now, right here. So I asked the team on Discord a bunch of questions, and here are some of them. So they do actually have a 12% sell tax. Actually, you know, we'll look at some of the sell taxes a little bit later on. But on there, we can look at some other questions and answers soon. But yes, so they're currently doing the migration. So they talk about the tokenomics here. So I believe that they usually have a buy tax of about 6%, but they have gone and made it free for like 2 days or something. Yeah, as a part of the migration thing or what have you. Now these are some of their partnerships. What I love about what they've done with their partnerships on their website, by the way, what I love about what they've actually done is that they have gone and listed on the actual websites. So Apollon, sportsmanmedia.com, that's more of like a news agency thing. Odisha, European Cricket League, Alfa Romeo, and Team Brett, they have actually gone and listed different things to show that these are legit partnerships, because these are coming from the actual places themselves, which I think is pretty great, to be honest. I think that is really cool. I think that other people should actually follow in those footsteps, because that's a great idea. This is their roadmap as well. So as you can see, they've gone and done a bunch of things. So kibaswap alpha release, bridge complete, major partnerships achieved, which I believe that they still have upcoming partnerships as well. So we can see game development beginning, more long-term partnerships, major exchange listings, Kiba 3D NFTs, and so that's part of phase 2. One thing which is a bit of a bummage is that we don't actually see any sort of dates, but it's good how they do actually have the tick system. But the fact that they don't have dates is a bit annoying, and doing the whole click on the side thing is a bit annoying as well. But I mean, it doesn't make it bad, but it's extra annoying. So sold for support for non-profits worldwide. Yeah, so, and they've got a whole bunch of different things as well. So they do have like Reddit, and they've got YouTube. And we'll have a look at some of those a little bit later on. So let's jump to some major stats. So let's have a look at where the price has gone over all time. Now I believe that the actual migration might have been happening around here-ish. Is sort of my guess. I'm not entirely sure when exactly it sort of started. But they have, as I say, had that sort of brief moment of doing this migration thing. So if we go based on what CoinMarketCap says, it's been at this price, and it had an all-time high of that price, and then it's now at this price. I'm not going to read those numbers because there's too many zeros. So between both chains, both BSC and Ether, they have got 2 trillion max supply for both of them, I guess, if you think about it like that. And the market cap is 63 million, which is pretty impressive. But people, from what I have seen on their Twitter, have been sort of struggling to be able to bring them over. It doesn't make it bad, but it just means that they may need a little bit more time to be able to do some of that transition for people. Alright, so we are just going to be looking at the CertiK audit for a little bit briefly. So these are some sort of findings which they came up with. These CertiK folks who would have done the audit. So this is purely based on their ETH contract, but this is the old ETH contract, the one which was done in I believe it was December 2021. If I have that correct, yes, so December 30th, sorry. Yes, so according to what we can see here, or what we have found on here, is so they do say some centralization risks, and these do come under major, not critical but major. A medium risk would be financial models. So we don't currently know what exactly is some of the, I guess, possible risks which we may come up with if we do decide to invest in this. But here are some things which have only owner modifiers. And so this was back on the ETH one. You know what? We're gonna skip this. We are gonna skip this section because technically that is an old contract and we don't really need to look at it. And so these are the 5 exchanges which they say it is currently listed on. But to be honest, I feel like we'll probably be seeing kibaswap on there at some point soon as well. This is the medium. From what I can see from the medium, it doesn't look like they've updated this very often / much. It looks like it looks a bit dead, to be honest. I didn't get this from CoinMarketCap, by the way. I got it from the actual website, so it's a bit dead. Maybe they should be working on that, or not have a medium. So this is the BSC. So I believe that they did. So once again, I believe that they did originally release Kiba Inu on ETH. But one of the reasons why they also wanted to release it on BSC is because some people won't be able to actually afford the gas fees on ETH, so they actually decided to do it on BSC. I did ask them if they are going to release it on anywhere else as well, but they said no, or any other chain. So I was like, oh, okay. So they just wanted to sort of stick to these 2 chains. In terms of wallet holdings, it really doesn't look bad, to be honest. I mean, nobody's over 5%. I mean, this one's got like 3%, but overall, like the actual kind of spread of what is available according to BSC scan is pretty solid. I would say that's pretty solid. And then the third wallet is a dead wallet, so I mean that's pretty good. According to ETH, I mean, once again, still very solid looking stats. So that would be a liquidity pool, I believe, or a liquidity contract, whatever you want to call it. And as we can see, nobody is also holding over 5%. In fact, they're not even holding over 3%. But they may be holding over 3% due to this being a null address and that being 2%. But yeah, it really doesn't look that threatening. It looks, look, this is going to be a weird word to use, but it looks kind. So yeah, so this talks about the sell tax here. This was done on the 30th. Dev wallets is fine. It says creator address in the contract code may be a false positive, but could be risky depending of the modification performed. Also, here's a bit of a funny bit of trivia. I asked them, and I don't list this in the document, but I asked them what is sort of like the purpose or reason for why you made the token, and one of the people wrote as a response, they don't work for kibaswap, the person who responded, but they said for the price to go up, and I was like, man, oh man, because Token Sniffer actually warns against that and says says oh gosh, where is it? It says something about clone contracts may indicate a low quality token unless there exists an offering other than the token itself. So I don't know, I thought that was kind of funny, to be honest. Yeah, so it says that 91% of this has been locked with team finance, according to the BSC thing. Oh my gosh, that scared the heck out of me. I'm going to put that on mute. Sorry guys. But I can't see exactly. So Moonarch, I believe, didn't manage to pick up that lock. Token Sniffer has, but I think that this might be the expired lock, because according to Moonarch, it looks like this liquidity lock has been expired for about 19 days. So I don't know what's going on with that. Don't know what's happening. Yeah, don't have much to say. But yeah, so dev wallet, so that's fine. Let's have a look and see if there's anything interesting regarding ETH. We are missing a box here. Did you guys just see that? I'm going to refresh the page. We are missing a box. Okay, so ownership is not renounced. Pretty much like the same thing. I mean, the contract, oh, the box has just moved. Yeah, so pretty much the same thing. Except for we do see something about it being locked through snap liquidity pools. Haven't heard of that before, not familiar with them, don't know how good / great they are. But I mean, it's locked, so I guess that's a positive. Yes, so looking on Token Sniffer, same thing, 0%, 12%, and no prior similar token contracts. So these are other similar token contracts which have been done in the past before. If you recognize any names there, do feel free to comment those in the comment section, and then maybe we can do a bit of a comparison in case maybe one of these other ones has maybe had some sort of manipulation or anything in a not very positive way. So ownership's not renounced. Holder analysis, good. What did I say, man? What did I say? All ticks. Pancake swap liquidity. So we won't actually look at the liquidity pool, but we will go on PooCoin briefly to see how that's looking here. Wowzers, that's pretty awesome. So these guys have got $1.6 million worth of liquidity, and as you can see, the price has been going pretty wild. It's been going up and down, and there's probably been a bunch of manipulation here and there, so yeah, that's quite interesting. Don't know what's been happening with that. If you guys have any rhyme or reason, once again, feel free to comment that. And it says that owner/creator wallet contains about 8% of the liquidity, which could be a bit baddish, but I mean, I think because like quite a hefty amount of it is locked, even though it's not over 95%, which would be the suggested amount. I still think that it looks pretty okay / safe from my point of view, to be honest. And then so this is we'll just make sure that we got the different addresses. Cool. So similar thing as well. Once again, the same sort of similar contracts. And then they actually hold 11% of the liquidity in there, and they only have 88% lock. So the stats are slightly worse, but once again, I don't think that they're really that bad. Now here's where we get to the fun part, where we have a look at some rug check things. So they have deployed a few different which is quite interesting here. Also, another thing which is incredibly interesting is that they have update sell fees and update buy fees, which they can, and max transaction amount. They've got all these things, but none of these are saying warning honeypot risk. Usually they'll have something like honeypot risk next to it, but it doesn't have it for this. But I can guarantee you guys that these things here, like, there's a bunch of these which are definitely honeypot risks. So this is just a horror story. Now, just to make it clear, I'm not claiming that these guys are going to do this with your money, okay? But I'm just saying that they have the possibility to be able to if they wanted to, alright? It's sort of like a bank can go and take your money and give it to their friends. I don't know. But yeah, or they can be like, hey, we don't want to give you your money back because it's dirty money. Yeah, so there doesn't seem to be anything here which tells me that they are doing favoritism. However, because usually favoritism thing has like something which will say can set certain wallets to be able to bypass like tax fees or something like that, right? So there's no like crazy favoritism or nepotism. However, because they can go and update the sell fees slash buy fees, that does mean that if they did decide to do that, and they put the sell fee at a major price or a major percentage, such as like over 90%, then essentially you're pretty much not really going to be making any money back on this coin, right? Yeah, but from what I've seen of this project, I don't think that they will do that, but I'm just letting you guys know regarding some of the risks with that. And another thing which they have, which I'm not entirely sure why they have this here, is update max transaction amount. So that essentially could mean, so even though they say, hey guys, we got like 1 trillion, max total supply, they could be like, but you're only allowed to sell like 1 token every like 24 hours or something like that. So that's where it possibly becomes risky. But otherwise, yeah, something. Also, sorry, one other risky thing which I didn't actually bring up, and one other fascinating thing actually, because from what I understand of both of these, so both of these, because I was chatting to the moderator on Discord, is that both of these come out as their own individual tokens, which is fascinating. So they're not really like linked to each other, or they don't have any reflections, which is one of the things which they actually removed in order as a part of their migration. So this $62 million market cap only applies to BSC, but then this one, the 65 million one, applies to ETH. So essentially what that means is that they've got like about $130 million in market cap. At least that is how I understand it. Yeah, so that's quite interesting. So essentially these guys, to some wacky extent, actually go over the $100 million market cap. And now for anybody investing into anything, if it is under $100 million worth of market cap, it is way more riskier to invest in. However, you have a more likely chance of getting better profits, right? And if it is over $100 million in market cap, that means that, first of all, it has shown itself to some extent to be pretty reliable, especially if it's been around for some time. But also on the other side of it, it does mean that it's probably not really going to move as much, for instance. Yeah, so 92% is unlocked, 2% owner, 2.8% burned, and liquidity is 2.49%. Now they're 2.49. You can see them here, 8% owner and 91% locked. And then so this is the ETH one. Pretty much similar things here. There's nothing really, which is, so I mean, marketing wallet, dev wallet, enable trading, remove limits. There's nothing which is crazy concerning here. Disabled transfer delay. That's interesting. Set early sell tax. Not sure what that is. If anybody knows, please do enlighten us. Max wallet amount. So I have a theory as to what this could mean. So I'm not going to say that it does mean this, but I have a theory as to what this could mean. Is update max wallet amount could be something like you have like you can only have a certain amount in a wallet. That would be my understanding. If I'm wrong about that, please correct me in the comments, and I can look at pinning your comment. Update swap tokens at amount. Once again, update sell fees and buy fees. So that is that. Yeah. Also, interestingly enough, they are going to be trying to aim to get onto tier 1 exchanges as well. And they did make a bit of a brief comment regarding that as well. So that's all good. According to some social stats, so we're going to be looking at some social metrics now. Daily averages. I'm just going to summarize this and be like, hey, 11,000 in the last 30 days. One fool, they had like minus 1,000 on that one day. That was probably something to do with the fact that the price went so, as you can see, so people might have been being like, rug pull, man, leave this alone. One thing I have found from the community, by the way, so I have gone through this, didn't find any sort of spam/scam or paid bot comments. So all of them are pretty clean. But yeah, I mean, very creative community, very artsy community. They are very focused on sports and everything. So honestly, their Twitter is pretty impressive. They do have a very impressive Twitter, and whoever's their art person is doing very well. Yeah, so I feel like I don't have much to say about that other than kudos. Okay, so we'll have a look at sort of where Kiba Inu has been for the last little while. So pretty low, and then they had a big pump during November 21st. I imagine that's probably when they might have had their IDO or something of the like. And then, so they've been a bit sort of up and down here and there. And then so recently, they actually have had quite a bit more of a burst during later in March. And that's currently where we are today. So I believe that we've gone all through that website. We won't go through that untitled document just yet. They do have a Reddit as well. One thing which is interesting, so these are sort of two posts which I was like, fascinating. So one of them says, big things coming, and then it's just like that, and I'm like, okay, cool. And then they say 0% buy tax, what are you waiting for? Very cool, I love the no buy tax, but what I find fascinating is that I'm like, but there's 12% sell tax, and so in my mind I'm like, what? Yeah, this is also the YouTube channel, so they don't currently have a docs team. So in terms of like things which can be a little bit concerning, is that we don't actually have a full-on docs team, although we see partnerships, exchanges and holders and a few other things, and we don't actually have any interviews yet, but we have this guy who just he kind of just talks about the project and things which are happening with it and everything. So yeah, I think that's awesome. It seems like they are pretty active when it comes to making videos. So I reckon kudos to these guys, man. They are definitely trying. 500 subs. That is almost as much as me, which is incredible because they've only been around for like less than a month. So we'll have a look at some of my questions. So this isn't an AMA, but this is kind of like my version of an AMA with me asking them stuff on Discord. So where does the 12% sell tax go? So sell tax 12%, so 10% to marketing, 2% to liquidity pool. Out of that 10%, how much goes to the team? 0. I'm like, what the heck? And so I said the ownership isn't renounced. Why is that? And they said right now it's 6% by tax, and actually you guys can read through that section. I feel like, yeah, so they say all of these things are editable to benefit the project. So essentially they kind of want to like be able to edit their token contract from time to time, to be able to go and make these changes. So Usually that's a little bit risky for us as investors, but I just thought I'd mention that. What was the purpose of the migration? So here was the reasons which they listed for me. So I have gone and edited some of these things, by the way, just to make it easier to read. So the first one, remove the general transfer tax, which hit on every transfer, including wallet to wallet and bridging. Another one, add automatically to liquidity to make the foundation stronger. Adding the burn mechanic for either adding bridge funds or just sending to dead addresses, and remove reflections as tier 1 exchanges don't like them. So that's something which I learned today as well, is that exchanges don't like reflections. And then I asked, what makes kibaswap more trustworthy than PancakeSwap, Sunday, or Uni? Because remember, according to their main website, they want to restore integrity and make it the safest DEX and launchpad. So this is quite cool. So so reliability for one. When Uniswap is down, kibaswap sorry guys, kibaswap takes the slack. The swap includes auto slippage, limit orders, and built-in honeypot checker. And I was like, man, that's cool. Honeypot checker, that's really cool. Yeah, so I thought that was absolutely fascinating. Now we come to our favorite part of the show, which nobody comments on because who the heck watches these videos all the way through. This is CSI's work in progress, likely inaccurate project checklist, where we go through and we can either get a 5-star, or there's like 5.5-star, I think it goes up to. That's if you get like all 10s. But yeah, let's have a look at some of these things. Functional and clean website / media. Honestly, it looks pretty good, but yeah, there are a few things which I just feel are missing, which are important. We don't even have a white paper for these guys. And also, it doesn't really properly explain the actual taxes on the website, so people don't actually know about that. So it's good, but it's not great. I'm going to give it about a 6, because it still looks pretty good and still looks pretty well made, but there's just things which are sort of missing. I'm going to say these guys are doing pretty heckin' well when it comes to any threatening big boy holders, because there's really not anything which is like crazy threatening from these guys, so I'm going to give them about a 9. There is no paid bot comments that I saw, so I'm going to give them a 10 for that. Is the coin / token distribution fair? Can't really tell. So they say the tokenomics are here, and they talk about market caps. It would be nice if we saw like maybe a pie chart thing there. So that would be nice. Maybe they could do that on their possible white paper / light paper if they decide to release one. So is the token / coin distribution fair? We can probably just go based off these things here. I would say it's pretty fair. I would say these guys get about a 9 from what I can see. It's also amazing how the team gets nothing. So like these guys are purely just doing it because. Yeah, and they get a bunch which is going towards marketing, which, yeah, it's sort of, it feels a bit questionable to be honest, but that's just me. Solid roadmap, pretty good. They definitely have some of their cookies aligned in order, but we don't have dates, and it's a bit annoying like doing that extra click thing. So I'm gonna give them about a 6 for that, because I feel like it could look a bit better. It is like pretty easy to read though. Yeah, so I'll give them about a 6. Trusted centralized exchanges and DEX listings. So Hotbit, I have seen Albank. So in terms of trustedness, we'll give them about a 4. Yeah, because we don't currently have any big exchanges. I do believe that they do have something upcoming regarding MEXC, which I mean could possibly push it up to a 5. So that's sort of like an upcoming 5. Yeah. So is the team doxed? Nope. Team interviews and or AMAs. So they do have that one YouTube which sort of keeps going, but as far as I know, they don't have any official ones. I'm going to give them a 5 because at least one dude has shown his face, so I'm going to give them a 5 for that. Any relevant experience? Nope, can't see it. Any notable partnerships? They've got some pretty heckin' good partnerships from what we have seen from the website. Although the partnerships aren't exactly crypto related, they're just sort of general, more like kind of like sports things. from what I can see. So I'd say partnerships, like, it's about a 6 or a 7. We'll give them a 7, eh? So these guys get about 3.5 star, 59 out of 100. So yeah, it's pretty hard to get over 50 if you watch my other videos. So yeah. Anyway, folks, that has been me. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, do like and subscribe. And also, if you do want to comment, please have a read of that little jazz there, because that'll be very much appreciated. I've got a Patreon. If you do wanna join my Patreon, or if you have any video requests, I am tempted to respond to any comments on my videos, being like, watch the end of my video to listen to my Patreon, like, or join my Patreon, and then you can get a guaranteed spot or something. I don't know, something a little like that. Yeah, because I got this advocate tier, which is fan requests, where I will look at doing a video for you guys of your choosing, and we can also vote for projects which you want videos on. Yeah, so thank you very much for watching. I hope this was insightful. Yeah, let me know if you want me to make my videos shorter, by the way. I feel like they've been really long recently. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? I'm going to do a poll. Alright, guys. Much love. Goodbye.